Hi students, very good morning and you all are very warmly welcome for this online session. Dear student, if you are new on our channel, please subscribe our channel. Why you have to subscribe? Because the first notifications will come to you and you will have the new videos to watch, to learn. Yes? So this is our history lesson, the first lesson of the history textbook of the 6th standard that the name of the lesson is The Indian Subcontinent and History. Dear student, what is the name of the lesson? The Indian Subcontinent and History. See, in this lesson we are going to understand the 3 points. Point number 1.1 is geographical conditions and the course of history. What we are going to understand first? Geographical conditions and the course of history. Second, 1.2 is geographical features of India. Geographical features of India. Third, that we are going to understand the Indian subcontinent. What we are going to understand third, the Indian subcontinent. Yes, now first we will understand geographical conditions and history. What we will understand first? Geographical conditions and history. Here, dear student, you can see this on the screen. See, geographical conditions and history. In the 5th standard, we saw at some length that there is a close relationship between man and his environment. We saw how the changes in the lifestyle of the early man and his technology were related to the changes in his surroundings. We also reviewed the history of human civilization from the state age to the agriculture civilizations that flourished on the bank of rivers. Dear student, this is the small paragraph. If you read it clearly, carefully, with concentration, you will understand this very easily. For better understanding of you, I will explain this paragraph for you. Okay. In the 5th standard, see, when we were in the 5th standard, what we have learned, we saw at some length that there is a close relationship between man and his environment. See, now you all are in the promoted into the 6th standard. When you are there in the 5th standard, what we have learned? We have learned that the man and his environment, they were had the close relationship between them. What is the common understanding of this sentence, dear students? Means the man where he live, he is fully depend on the environment where he lives. Understood? We saw how the changes in the lifestyle of the early man and his technology were related to the changes in surrounding. See, and what we have understand, we understood the lifestyle of the people and how this lifestyle got changed, how they have developed themselves with the new technology, how they have developed their technology. First, the man, see, first the man, he used to live in the hut, then he started to build the home, after he started to build the bungalows. Means what is it? It is one example of the development of new technology which we can see here. Even the pictures are given here. See, this is the changes we can see in the houses. We also reviewed the history of human civilization from Stone Age to the agriculture civilization that flourished on the bank of rivers. See, when you are in the 5th standard, we have understood the man was not developed that much. Yes, but when we start to understand the history of 6th standard, here we can see the man has developed a little, means in a progress. Man is investigating new things, When first the history which we have learned, in that we understood the man was having all the things with the stone, means the stones tools he had. Yes, he was doing his hunting, gathering. For that he used to use the stone. The investigation of wheels has done in that period. So the period was that, to this period it called the stone age, and the man was not stuck with the limited this stone age. Yes, after that man has developed himself. The human being have developed themselves and they turn to agriculture. See, for agriculture water is needed. So to do this agriculture, man has started to live, to locate on the bank of rivers. Yes, if the river is nearby, so they have started to settle down their community near the river, so the river can help them to have their agriculture and flourish them to get the more crops. Yes, I hope you may have understood this paragraph. Now we can turn to the next. See, history is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. Dear student, here they have given the definition of history. What is history? It is coherent account of significant past events in the progress of human life, human culture. See, in the simple way what we can understand, the incident which had happened in the past, in future these past incident are included as a history. Yes, the yesterday what had done today, it's included in the history. Yes, time, place, society and individuals are the four major pillars of history. Dear student, what are the four major pillars of history? The four major pillars of history are time, place, society and individuals. History is always depend on the time, at what time it has done, place, where it had done, society, which society was there when the incidents had happened, individuals, the people who were related with these incidents. Yes, these are the four major pillars of history. We cannot write history without them. See, when we have to write any history without taking these four important major pillars, we are not able to write the history. Of these four components, place is related to geography or geographical conditions. See, and we have understood it here. The four major pillars of the history are time, place, society and individuals. Now here they are talking about the place, and this place is related with the geography or the geographical conditions. Of course it is. Now, in this sense, we will go to the further. In this sense, history and geography are inseparable. When we are understanding history and geography, here in these cases, the history and geography are inseparable. This means they are not separate, they are together. History is influenced by geographical conditions in many ways, and this history and geography, they are interconnected, they are bonded with each other, they are not separate in this way, in these many ways. See, dear students, we have finished this first paragraph. In this two more questions are given here. Let's discuss. Yes, the first is that what occupations are seen in your locality? What is our first questions? What occupations are seen in your locality? Where you are living, in your area, which are the occupations you can find, that you have to write it here. Second, what crops are grown in your surrounding and where you are living in which village, there which are the crops grows, that crops here you have to write. Okay dear students, now we can go to the next. Here, see, the three types of houses are given here that already I have explained. This is the very good example of the people that how they have got change, how they have improved their technology. See, our diet, clothing, housing, occupations, in fact, all human life in any region depends to a large extent on its geographical characteristics. When we are understanding the history, it is always depend on what our diet, clothing, housing, occupations. In fact, all human life in any region depends to a large extends to a geographical characteristics. See, if the people are living nearby the bank of river, so they are related with the river, and river it is the geographical content. For example, the life of the people in hilly region is more strenuous than that of the people on the plains. Here very good example they have given. Those people, they are living in the hilly area, their lifestyle is very much difficult than the people, those they are living in the plain region. Why dear students? Why it is difficult for them? Those people though are living in the hilly area. See, not much fertile land is available in the hilly region, while in the plains it is available on a large scale. The people, those they are living in hilly area, they are not getting more fertile land to have their agriculture. Understood? They are not getting the fertile land for their agriculture, and compared to these hilly people, those people they are living on the plains, they are getting a large scale of the fertile land. Yes. See, that is why grains and vegetables are scarce in hilly areas. In comparison, people on the plains get them in the sufficient measures. Those people they are living in the hilly area, they are not getting more no grains, vegetables, crops, because they don't have the enough fertile land. And those people they are living on the plain, they are getting the sufficient measure. Okay, the vegetables, the grains they are getting in more quantity. Naturally, this has an impact on the diet of the people, and of course these things are affecting on the diet of the people. Yes. In hilly region, people depend more on hunting and gathering for their food, and the people, those they are living in hilly area, are depend on the hunting and gathering. Yes, they are hunting and they are having their own food. But the people, those they are no living on the plain area, they are not doing hunting. In the sea, we also find other such differences in the lifestyle of the people of hilly region and those of the plains. Even we can get more differences between the people, those they are living in the hilly areas and those they are living on the plain. Of course, they have differences between them. This is the first page. Here we have finished, dear students. Okay. This no. The next we will see in the next video. Yes, to get the more videos, the links are given in the descriptions box. See dear students, if you want to get the more content, more information, more videos, you can subscribe our channel, and you have to see the in description box, so you will get more videos. Thank you.